It's the end of August 2023. This is a review of the IKEA BRor system, or the IKEA BRor system, I should say, more accurately. We're using this in our cave to store our excess possessions that we don't want to put into the house. The backstory is that we previously used IKEA Kallax units in the same garage. And due to our neighbour doing building works on our roof, having cut through the waterproof membrane, every time it rained, for the last 3 months, water has been coming into our garage and basically spoiling our Kallax. So we have to have a solution, and this is the solution that we've chosen. It's the IKEA BRor system. It's made entirely from metal, so it's probably less susceptible to water damage. Cost. So you're looking at a 3 vertical shelf system here, and it's about roughly between £500 and £600 when you include all the translucent Samler boxes, just to give you an idea of how much you're going to spend. And the cost goes up a lot if you include these drawers, which I have done. So these drawers are quite expensive. That probably adds another, let's say, £100 into that £500. Okay. First of all, these units are quite long. I think they're almost 2 meters high. So it's unlikely that you'll fit them in a regular saloon car or even a hatchback. You might need quite a long estate car to transport them. We actually ordered these 3 shelving units using the IKEA Express delivery service. So in the UK, the regular delivery service was £40 and the express delivery service was £50. The £50 service delivered the items within 1 day, and the regular delivery service was going to be 1 week. So we went for the extra £10. On the web, there's a configurator where you can visually drag a configuration together. And so we did that multiple times to try and figure out what we wanted. In terms of tools that you're going to need, they come with some hex spanners, but I would really recommend that you have a power tool with a hex end, and that hex end is going to interface with some of the bits I'm going to show you in a minute. So you need, and also they provide a little bit of plastic, so when you bang these metal sections together, but we used a rubber mallet. So if you've got a rubber mallet and a power tool with hex ends, that's really going to improve your chances of building this quickly. And also another installation point to note is you really do need 2 people. When you start the assembly of the sides, you put the 2 sides together, and then there's a point where you have to have the 2 sides, let's say, standing vertically, and then you need a second person to put those horizontals in. Okay, let's look closer on the installation and see how it all works. So I'm going to get closer, and the whole thing works with metal strips which ingeniously locate into these areas here. So at the back, you'll see, must be able to zoom in on this surely. So at the back, you'll see this is a horizontal metal strip, and it's completely loose. And there's a bit of metal jutting out, and there's a hole here that this interlocks with. So you have these vertical bars on the ground, let's say. You then get these metal strips, and with a mallet, you knock them into this, locking these 2 points together. And you do that on both sides. And the whole unit is constructed with these points. So here's can you see there's an example of the point that's not been used. So this vertical this horizontal strip is going to intersect with this, and you hit it together and form it together with a mallet. Once you put the verticals together, then the next thing is the horizontals here, and finally you put this bracing strap here, which gives it some strength. Now the whole thing is kind of a little bit weedy in the sense that you can see I can move it and I can waggle it like this, but it relies on you adding these extra elements to give it the strength. And the extra elements are basically the shelf. So the shelf, once the shelf's on, it's quite solid because this shelf is providing the stopping this sort of forming a trapezium. So it's ingenious in the sense that the shelving system is quite weak, but thanks to all the components added together in the right place at the right time, it does make it quite strong. The loading limit is 130 kilograms, so we thought those 2 tyres are going to be less than 130 kilos. So on each shelf, the maximum is 130 kilos. I've talked about the drawers before. They're expensive, but they give the unit more strength, and of course you can fit lots of crappy things in there and hide them from view. Once the shelving is assembled, I highly encourage you to mount it to the wall, attach it to the wall. So that's done using the supplied bits of plastic here. And these bits of plastic can be located on any vertical, and you're going to need a mason tipped drill to drill into your brickwork, and you're going to need to buy the right length of screws and raw plugs. So that doesn't come with the units. So once that's in, the unit is extremely solidly attached to the wall and can't fall off. Oh, and the other thing you're going to need is a level. So what we've got is, showing you, we bought a set of shims, actually in Switzerland. So I'm not sure I'm sure they must be available in England. So there's some variable width shims. We put those under each foot, and we used a level on the shelf to make sure everything is exactly level. Otherwise, it's going to look pretty stupid. And by the way, our wall and brickwork isn't necessarily level, but the shelves are. And one last thing, which is kind of annoying, which is that these Samler units don't actually fit inside the shelving. So it's quite surprising. We did all this online when we were deciding to buy everything at once. So we ordered a load of these Samler units, and the idea was to have them in, not just at the top of the shelving, but inside the shelving. But to our horror, we found out that they don't actually fit here. In fact, these 2 boxes are so tight that they're in now, as in day one, but it's not very practical because they're literally jammed in together. So unfortunately, you have to be very, very careful when you're ordering these Samler units. If you're close to an IKEA, what I'd do is I'd order them, and then you're going to have to, we're not close to an IKEA, we're going to have to take all the extra large ones back. Even these ones are a bit, I don't know. So there we have it. That's the Bror shelving system. I'm very impressed with it overall. Like I say, the total cost was about between £500 and £600. The drawers cost, I think, something like £30 each. So that upped the price by about £100. You are going to need a power tool, and I suggest a level. You're going to need to buy raw plugs for the wall, and screws, associated screws, which I got on Amazon. You must attach these to the wall because otherwise the whole unit will kind of wobble. And I would say I would also get some shims like this, so that you level the unit, and then you're going to need a level as well. So not many tools are needed, but I think this is going to make for a good shelving system, and it's going to make you be able to put stuff into the garage and use the garage for car as well. It'll be nice and compact at the end. Thanks for watching, Daria. I hope this has been interesting and convinced you to consider the Bror shelving system from IKEA. Thank you. Bye.